Hello everyone, it's I, Mr. Big T Anderson, and this is Melancholy by Nyx Auralis. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. This is FF7. Now, we're back to our regularly scheduled fanfiction. Hopefully you guys like the little off-the-beaten-track stories I popped off. This one, well, even if you're a general, there's one thing that gets us all. Especially if you're high up in something. And, with that, let's begin. Paperwork. Endless, innumerable, tedious paperwork. This unit needed these supplies. A cadet had gotten reassigned. This particular department needed second-class soldiers, and the list went on. Some were even as mundane as deciding what to move into the offices. He released a billowing sigh as he leaned back into his chair and laced his fingers together. For a moment, just a moment, he closed his eyes. Later, he'd have to report to Hojo for another round of checkups. He hated the word. He hated how Hojo made a mockery of the word. I wonder what I'll be killing today. He mused slowly. He was grateful for the soft, pliable leather cushions. Perhaps another of his failed experiments. He reached for his mug, sipping at the cold coffee absently. How long had he been up to not realize his coffee had already gone cold? It had even been a while since he last saw, or heard, was more accurate, Fair. There was a knock at his door. "Hey, Seth!" Speak of the devil. He stared as Fair burst into the room, sunny as ever, and continued to sip his coffee. He'd been up too long. He didn't care enough to scold Zach for not wanting to be let in. "Sephiroth, when was the last time you went to sleep?" Zach asked with narrowed violet eyes as he stared. Sephiroth, to his credit, did not blink. He was the Silver General and had a reputation to uphold, after all. But the sudden proximity of a concerned Zach elicited a twitch. It was a valid question. One he was vaguely surprised he didn't have the answer to. "I don't know." Sephiroth answered after a pregnant pause. Zach pulled away, thank Gaia, but Sephiroth felt a vague discomfort at the way Zach looked at him. It reminded him of how Hojo looked when he realized something he didn't like. What was the word for it? Sinister. That was the word he was looking for. Funny. Zach looked sad to him. He noticed Zach was staring at the calendar buried under the mountains of paperwork. Sephiroth slowly trailed after his gaze, wondering what was so serious that the puppy was solemn. And then it hit him. His birthday. Officially, Sephiroth had a birthday, but the date was obscured behind layer upon layer of security. Even the Silver General didn't have enough clearance to see his own file. It was a sore topic for him, but he'd long since given up trying to find out. Hojo was horrifyingly creative, especially when he'd been irritated. And the scientist was personally over his Mako shots. Still, Sephiroth still avoided large bodies of water to this day, but Zack had been insistent. There were some battles Sephiroth wasn't willing to fight. At this moment, fighting with Zack, especially a Zack that was concerned, was not a fight he was willing to fight. "Do you have shots today?" Sephiroth looked at him, and Zack looked frustrated. How long had he been asking? Yes. It's supposed to be the next level of shots, so I was requested to take the next 2 weeks off. He answered, feeling his lips curl downward. "I'll wait for you." Zack told him. Sephiroth sat up, putting his now cold coffee cup down. "I won't go in. We can chill at your place and watch movies. I still need to show you the one about the chocobo and its jockey." Sephiroth made a sound of agreement, noting how Zack's eyes lit up at hearing he had 2 weeks off. You'll be okay, Seth. It's alright to feel melancholy, you know. Zack told him, his own lips curled into a strange smile. I am not melancholic. Exhausted. Perhaps I've been working through these for a while. I'll explain to you sometime, Zack told him. He sighed and got up, stretching as he walked towards the door. Take a moment to relax, Seth. Thank you, Zack. Sephiroth found himself saying it. He now knew what that feeling was. Zack turned his head slightly, giving Sephiroth one of his trademark grins before he left. Melancholy was a pervasive feeling of sadness without cause, Sephiroth recalled. He smiled as he recalled Zack's sunny grin. Sephiroth didn't know the cause, but he knew the cure. And there you go. Now, currently it is the 6th. I'm doing recording, so I am going to be looking for pictures. You'll notice the titles are going to be a bit different, so do not be alarmed, but I do need to give credit to the artists as well. So, going through a bit of tinkering. You know how I like to do this. Anyway, hope you like it. Ta-ta for now.